Tock Turkey and the Mysterious Egg. Hello, this is Natasha, and I'm dropping by with a second story about Tock Turkey. If you heard the earlier story called The Disappearing Sandwich, you'll know that Tock Turkey is no ordinary bird. No, not by any means, for he can fly backwards and forwards in time. He has loads of adventures, and as he is rather greedy, quite a few of them involve food. This story is called The Mysterious Egg. On a sunny but rather cool morning on Egg Island, Tock Turkey was thinking about food as usual. He flapped up and down the beach, squawking and muttering, and looking crossly at the sundial where the long, thin shadow of a stone egg pointed out the time. Not far away, in the pleasant shade of a gently curving palm tree, Future Dog quietly got on with her morning yoga, carefully balancing on her hind legs and tail, breathing deeply. "I can't believe it's only an hour since breakfast," said Tock Turkey. "I'm so hungry. I know that can't be the real time. My tummy says it's definitely lunchtime, so that stupid sundial must be broken." Future Dog, who was very familiar with Tock Turkey's impatience, laughed. "Are you laughing at me?" squawked Tock Turkey. "The cheek! I'm about to starve to death because of a broken sundial, and you think it's funny." "I'm not laughing because you're hungry." Future Dog peered over her sunglasses. "Starving is never a laughing matter. Not when it's real, anyway. I laugh because the sundial can't be broken." Tock Turkey flapped his feathers. "What do you mean? That sundial is slow. It's not working. It's wound down. Someone needs to wind it up. In fact, I don't remember anyone winding it up, ever. Or changing the battery or anything." Future Dog eased into her next yoga position. She balanced on her head with her legs stretched out wide, her tail wagging elegantly from side to side. "Tock Turkey," she said calmly, "do you know how a sundial works?" Tock Turkey gobbled a little offendedly. "Do I know how a sundial works? Do I? Well, everyone knows how a sundial works, don't they? The big dark hand points to the time, it goes round, and you know what time it is. And that is how a sundial works." Future Dog carefully lowered herself from her headstand, stood up, let out a deep breath, and said, "Tock Turkey, the sun is bright and makes the shadow. The sun moves through the sky as the world turns round, and the shadow points to different places as the day goes on. It doesn't need to be wound up. It doesn't need a battery, and it works as long as the sun keeps on rising and setting and moving across the sky. And that's it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have yoga to do." And with that, Future Dog rolled up her yoga mat and walked away up the beach. "All right, keep your fur on," said Tock Turkey. "I know about the sun. Everybody knows about the sun. And if this sundial is so brilliant, then how come it stops working in cloudy weather? It's a cheap one if you ask me. If Egg Island ever floats past a clock shop, we should get a new one." Future Dog paused for a moment, as if she was about to say something, but then carried on walking. She found a shady spot beneath a big turkey statue and rolled her yoga mat in the sand and carried on with her exercises. "All right," said Tick-Tock Turkey to himself. "So it's not lunchtime yet, and it's only an hour after breakfast, so it's too early for brunch. No bother, I'll have lunch fast. It's never too early for lunch fast." Tick-Tock Turkey scratched his tummy feathers with his wing and licked his beak with his tongue. "What do I fancy to eat? Worms. Well, I had worms for breakfast, so that wouldn't do. It's not on to have the same meal twice. But I love worms so much. Hang on, those were earthworms that I ate earlier. There's nothing stopping me having a different kind of worm for lunch fast. How about sea worms? Yes, I haven't had sea worms for ages. That'll do nicely." Tick-Tock Turkey scrambled up the beach to his small nest by the edge of the jungle, pulled on his swimming trunks and ran back down to the shore, gobbling and squawking excitedly at the thought of all those delicious salty sea worms. He was just about to dive into the frothy waves when he remembered something. "Oh, yes," he said. "I mustn't go swimming with a time watch on." He unbuckled the strap of his time-travelling watch and placed it carefully on a stone in the sand. "Future Dog says it's not waterproof. She'd go mad if it got broken. Broken like that stupid sundial." Tick-Tock Turkey chuckled, but not too loud. He didn't want to spoil grumpy Future Dog's yoga. "I should be careful anyway," he said. "After all, it is the only time watch in the world." Then Tick-Tock Turkey took a deep breath and dived in. He gave an enormous squawk and jumped straight back out onto the beach. He stood there, his eyes popping out of his head, shivering, clicking his beak, with his feathers dripping cold seawater onto the hot sand. What the egg?" he gobbled. "It's freezing." Future Dog heard Tick-Tock Turkey's cries right across the beach, and she casually strolled down to see what he was up to. "Future Dog," said Tick-Tock Turkey, his beak looking a little bluer than usual. "The water's so cold. I've never known it so cold." Said Future Dog. "I think Egg Island might be drifting southwards. Now, we're already quite far south, if I remember correctly, so that would bring us into much colder water. That must be it." Future Dog looked out to sea and squinted through her sunglasses. "It also explains all those penguins swimming out there." She pointed to a few cheerful penguins splashing and diving not far from the beach. One of them was sitting on a little block of ice that floated in the water. "Penguins," said Tick-Tock Turkey with a frown. "I didn't spot them before." One of the penguins bobbed to the surface and waved. "Hey there," she called. "Welcome to the south. You two should come and try some of these sea worms. They're delicious." Tick-Tock Turkey was furious. "That is so not fair," he huffed. "Stupid penguins with their stupid warm coats that let them swim in freezing water. I hope the sea worms make them sick." "That's not nice," said Future Dog. You know, Tick-Tock Turkey, I went for a swim this morning before I started my yoga, and the water was lovely and warm then. We must have been much closer to the equator. It isn't the penguins' fault you missed out. And you know what they say? The early bird catches the sea worm. She smiled. Very funny, said Tick-Tock Turkey. But I'm not having it. I'm not letting them have all the food. I'm not going to swim in cold water either. What to do? He scratched his head. There's nothing for it. He raised one wing high in the air. I'm going to use the time watch. Here we go again, said Future Dog. That's right, said Tick-Tock Turkey. I'm going to go back in time to when the water was still warm, and I'm going to gobble up all the salty sea worms I can find before those pesky penguins turned up. Future Dog sighed. Very well. I suppose a turkey's got to do what a turkey's got to do. Just be careful. I'm going to play tennis with Blobbert, so I won't be around to help you if you get into trouble. Tick-Tock Turkey squawked. Trouble? It'll be easy peasy. And you're playing tennis with Blobbert. He's just a blob. He can't play tennis. I'm giving him lessons, said Future Dog. Anyway, just use the time watch carefully. Don't get it wet. We'll see you later for lunch. Don't hold your breath, said Tick-Tock Turkey, fastening the watch on his wing. I plan to have so much lunch fast I won't be needing lunch. Not tea either, or dinner, or pudding, or supper, or even bedtime bickies. I'm going to stuff myself enough for the whole day. As Future Dog wandered off to find Blobbert for their tennis lesson, she heard behind her a very loud whoosh. There went Tick-Tock Turkey, zooming into the past in search of a feast. And Future Dog had seen it all before. Later that day, after the tennis lesson, after lunch, when Blobbert had blobbed off somewhere else to do whatever it is that blobs do, Tick-Tock Turkey was nowhere to be seen or heard. Future Dog was worried. It seemed that Tick-Tock Turkey had gone into the past and not come back. Oh dear, she said. I shouldn't have left him on his own. She felt sorry that she had laughed at him. But then he was a very silly bird. And now he could be stuck in the past. Perhaps forever. Future Dog hurried down to the seashore, where she had last seen Tick-Tock Turkey. There was no sign of him. She shuddered. Poor Tick-Tock Turkey could be anywhere, and any time. If he was too clumsy with the time watch, he could have gone back much too far. He could be in a prehistoric world being frightened by dinosaurs, or in his excitement he could have wound the watch the wrong way altogether and ended up far in the future. Future Dog knew all about the future. But poor Tick-Tock Turkey wouldn't have a clue. The penguins were still splashing around in the cold sea, gobbling up their sea worms and performing trick dives off their miniature icebergs. Help! Called Future Dog. Did any of you see my friend earlier? The turkey? One of the penguins swam into the beach and waddled up the sand. Hello, I'm Jen, she said. The turkey, did you say? You mean that scruffy-looking bird? Oh, sure. He fiddled around with a watch and then he vanished. Whoosh! Into thin air, just like that. We all thought it's the weirdest thing. And he didn't come back? Asked Future Dog. Nah-ha, said Jen Penguin, flapping her flippery wings. He never did. Oh, no, said Future Dog. But we found this, said Jen. She stood aside to show a large white egg nestled in the sand. It's an egg. We've been playing wing ball with it in the water. It's not a penguin's egg. It's the wrong shape. I think it's an octopus's egg. Len Penguin over there thinks it's a snake egg, and Sven Penguin thinks it's a dog egg. What do you think? Future Dog looked at the egg. It was quite fresh. It's certainly not a dog egg, thank you very much. We don't lay eggs. But where could it have come from? Beats me, said Jen. He wasn't there, and then he was there. Weird. That is strange, said Future Dog. Ah-ha, said Jen. Just like the turkey was there, and then he wasn't there. Weird. Said Future Dog, thinking very hard. It's just like that old question, said Jen. You know, what came first, the bird or the egg? Yes, said Future Dog. It's just like that. And in this case, the bird definitely came before the egg. Well, said Jen, I don't suppose you know about this, being a dog, but for us penguins, eggs and birds tend to come one after another. I suppose that makes sense, said Future Dog. But I can't worry about the egg now. I need to find a way to get Tick-Tock Turkey back. I can't tell you how it all started, continued Jen, quite ignoring Future Dog's concern. I mean, the very first bird or the very first egg. But from what my mum says, I know it began as an egg, you know, when I was little. Eggs, said Future Dog. That's it. She slapped her forehead with her paw. I think I know what happened. Jen Penguin flapped her flippers. Go on, tell. Turkeys start as eggs, just like penguins, said Future Dog. I thought my friend Tick-Tock Turkey had gone back in time to this morning to eat sea worms and never came back. And then this egg had appeared from nowhere. My conclusion is that Tick-Tock Turkey never left. Nonsense, said the penguin. You're talking rubbish. This is why we penguins stay on the ice. Too much hot sun has driven you bonkers and you've gone dotty. Just bear with me, said Future Dog. This sort of thing happens all the time round here. As I was saying, Tick-Tock Turkey never left. He must have turned himself back into an egg. She pointed at the mysterious egg. That is Tick-Tock Turkey before he was a chick. He hasn't even hatched. Jen Penguin squinted at the egg, unconvinced. Sounds daft to me, she said. But just say it is true. Then your turkey is going to have to grow up into a full-grown bird all over again. What a drag! Tick-Tock Turkey is trouble enough, said Future Dog. I can't even imagine what bother a little Chick-Tock Turkey could cause. Oh no, poor Tick-Tock Turkey is back in his egg, and it's all my fault. I never should have given him that watch in the first place. While they had been talking, The sun had been shining brightly on the egg in the sand. It had been getting warmer and warmer. Then there was a quiet tap. Then again, tap, tap, and again, tap, tap, tap. The tap, tapping so gentle at first, became louder and louder. Future Dog and Jen Penguin leaned in closely. They saw a small crack appearing in the egg. The crack got longer and split into 2 cracks, and then 3, until finally the shell chipped open and a tiny yellow beak poked through the hole. The beak tapped at the edges of the hole, and at last the shell cracked open. A very fluffy little turkey chick popped out onto the sand, chirping with a tiny voice. "It's a boy!" laughed Jen. Future Dog looked down at Tock Turkey and shook her head. "Dear me," she said. Tock Turkey waddled happily along the sand and pecked at Future Dog's leg. "I think he likes you," said Jen. "But he's just a baby," said Future Dog. "What a disaster!" "What's that?" Jen pointed her flipper to something lying in the broken eggshell. Future Dog could just make out a red strap and the dial of a watch. She barked in relief. "Oh, thank goodness! It's the time watch! We'll have this fixed in no time." Future Dog took the time watch, fiddled with a button, and quickly strapped it onto Tock Turkey's little wing. He must have put it on the wrong wing after his swim. That makes it work the other way. Instead of travelling back in time, he made himself go backwards. "Now keep clear. This is going to be noisy." Suddenly, a cloud of sparks and light fizzed around the chick. There was a gust of wind and feathers, and then a very loud swoosh. And there stood Tock Turkey, utterly befuddled. "What?" he squawked. "What happened? Where did I go? I dreamed I was inside a little warm room. Then it started bouncing around. Then there was a little crack of light. Then I was in an enormous sunny desert. And you, Future Dog, you were 20 feet tall, and there was a giant penguin, and other giant penguins swimming, and an enormous iceberg, 50 feet high. What time is it? Where's my lunch fast? My head. Oh, I'm so confused." "I'll explain it later," said Future Dog. "I think you're going to need a few more lessons on how to use this time watch." "I was in such a hurry to get my sea worms," said Tock Turkey. "I think I might have put it on the wrong wing." "Well, it's good to have you back," said Future Dog. "Even though you never left," said Jen Penguin. "Who are you?" squawked Tock Turkey. "I'm Jen Penguin. Now, if you're such a big fan of sea worms that you turn yourself into an egg and back, then Len, Sven and I will catch you all the lunch fast you can eat, and you won't even have to go into the cold water." "That'll do nicely," said Tock Turkey, and he sat back in the sand. "Serve it up." And that was the story of The Mysterious Egg by Michael Brett. Bertie's looking forward to the next TikTok turkey story. And there's loads more stories at storynori.com. So drop by and have a look. Until next time, from me, Natasha, bye-bye!